AC Weatherland. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, milder weather in the forecast through the weekend, plenty of clouds, and it looks like late night, early morning fog will become an issue with time. But I want to start off the weathercast with the big massacre, Valentine's Day massacre. Not the one you're thinking of in Chicago, the one that happened 124 years ago here on the Gulf Coast. So let's go to the graphics, and it was the biggest Gulf Coast snowstorm on record 124 years ago on this date back in 1895. After deep Arctic air pushed all the way through the Gulf of Mexico, a low pressure system developed in the Gulf, and look at the snow totals that were produced here. 20 inches in Houston, better than 2 feet in the Golden Triangle area of Texas, 22 inches reported in Lake Charles, 24 inches in rain, which is also the state 24-hour record for snowfall. You would think that would have happened in the northern part of the state when we had 14 inches, which is the record in Lafayette, and even NOLA got in the mix with 8 inches of snow. So a big snow event. We have not seen anything close to this in the last 124 years. Obviously, this is the way it looked in Lake Charles. Very limited pictures that I could find online, but this is a shot from Lake Charles, probably a little bit more populated than Lafayette at that time. And this is a shot from Houston from that same snowstorm, crippling snowstorm. Can you imagine what we would do with this today? And yeah, the schools would be closed for this type of weather event. Not seeing that anytime soon. We got a mild pattern today. The big story, if you've been following online, has been the heavy rainfall across portions of Southern California, major flooding, more big snows in the Sierra. That's moving through the Rockies. And eventually the storm track gets a little bit closer to us. If you watch the weathercast at 5 and 6 o'clock, the jet stream is going to get more oriented toward a rainy pattern for us, and maybe some soaking rains as well. We'll show you some of the model output in just a bit. First off, though, high-level cirrus clouds streaming across the area, but generally fair skies, which should set the stage for fog, some radiational fog developing, and sea fog as well. Now, visibilities have not been dropping a whole lot, but down to 5 miles Abbeville, 6 miles in Lafayette. So we're starting to see hints that fog wants to form. And as we take a look at our fog product, we got two things going on: some sea fog developing right along the coast, and then some ground fog inland. So we do expect foggy conditions to develop after about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning through tomorrow morning. Maybe patchy in nature, but as the days wear on, as we go into next week, better chances of fog developing. And notice, even at noon tomorrow, visibility inland good, but we still have some low spots along the coast. So we do expect that fog to come back in tomorrow night through Saturday morning. So here's your future cast with clouds on the increase. Model indicating a fair bit of green here. I don't know what it's really looking for, but there may be a sprinkle or two, and that may be embedded in the fog that we see developing tomorrow morning. A mostly cloudy day tomorrow, mostly dry. I'm going 10% on your rain chances. It will be breezy as well, with south to southwest winds kicking up at about 15 to occasionally 20 miles an hour. We should get into the mid-70s tomorrow afternoon. By drive time, should be relatively quiet, still a little breezy, and then that wind dies down, maybe some fog coming back. And then Saturday gets a little interesting. We have this frontal boundary. We're not too sure how far south it's going to go. The models have been somewhere Alexandria and northward. Latest runs bring it down to about the I-10 corridor, which will wreak havoc with our temperature forecast. North of the front, 60s, south of the front, mid-70s. So we're going to stay with mid-70s in Lafayette, and with the frontal boundary in the area, then maybe a few showers in the area during the day Saturday. So here we go into the longer range going into Sunday. The front moves back to the north. I think we see a little sunshine Sunday. Temperatures mid to upper 70s. Then the front tries to move south on Monday, but some rain chances around and about. Tuesday, it moves back to the north, and we see more in the way of rain and storms. And then by Wednesday, it finally gets to the south, and we get some cool air, but it stays on the wet side. That goes through Thursday. Then Friday, back on the mild side with this front working its way to the north. Eventually, it changes over to a cool front that may sweep on through about Sunday, 10 or 11 days down the road. Bottom line, getting wetter down the line. This is a 10 10-day rainfall accumulation. Nothing to be too concerned with, but it does show more significant rainfall, and certainly the threat of heavy, maybe flooding rains off to the north and east. And the GFS model over the same 10-day period showing even a little bit more rainfall closer to home, with 5 to up to 10 inches of rain as you get into the Tennessee River Valley, where there's going to be problems, we think, as we go into next week. So nearly steady temperatures tonight, with fog developing toward daybreak. 61 the low, 74 the high tomorrow, with mostly cloudy skies, a breezy afternoon, and maybe a sprinkle, but not a major concern. Slight chance of a shower Saturday, slightly better on Sunday, even better on Monday. Then you get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It looks like pretty good rain chances and a couple of inches of rain, with temperatures going from spring to winter back to spring before that 10-day forecast is done. And that's the way it goes, a changing pattern. And this time of year, we also have to be concerned with the possibility of stronger storms, severe storms maybe, but we don't see that quite yet. But we'll watch that as we go into next week.
Very well. All right. Thanks, Rob.